Anna Brown looked at the divorce papers on the table that her husband had already signed. She looked in the direction of the window with tears in her eyes. Justin Salvador was standing there in the glow of the afternoon sun, looking as perfect and cold as a stone sculpture and emanating an oppressive vibe. "I've signed the papers. You should sign them as soon as possible so that we can finalize the divorce before Rose comes home." Justin put his hands behind his back and said, without glancing at her, "Since we had a prenuptial agreement, there won't be any issues with property division. But as compensation, I will give you an additional $20 million as well as the villa in the western suburbs. After all, I won't be able to explain it to Grandpa if you leave without taking a cent." Anna was dumbstruck. "Does Grandpa know that you want to divorce me?" "Grandpa's opinion won't affect my decision." Anna's slender body shook, so she could only hold on to the edge of the table to stabilize herself. Tears streamed down her face as she asked, "Justin, can we please stay married?" Finally, Justin turned around and looked at her doubtfully. He pursed his thin lips and narrowed his dark eyes. His handsome face still made Anna's heart skip a beat. "Why?" "Because I love you." Anna's eyes were red and tearful. "Justin, I love you. I still want to be your wife even if you don't have feelings for me. I've had enough of this, Anna. A marriage without love is torture for me." Justin waved her off. He did not even have the patience to listen to her. "Our marriage was a mistake from the start. You knew that I was just fighting with Grandpa back then. You also knew that I liked Rose. I just couldn't be with her back then for certain reasons. She's coming back from Meriden soon, and I plan to marry her, so you have to leave now that our 3-year contract period is up." Anna lowered her head. Large teardrops fell on the table, but she quickly wiped them away. Justin noticed it, but he did not say a word. At this time, his phone rang. He quickly answered the call when he saw the name on the screen. "Rose, have you boarded the plane yet?" He had such a gentle tone that Anna wondered if it came from the same man who was so cold to her moments ago. Rosalind Gold said in a cheery voice over the phone, "Justin, I'm already at the Severo airport." Ads by Pub Future. "What? Weren't you supposed to get in tonight? I wanted to surprise you. Wait for me, Rose. I'll pick you up now." After that, Justin left in a hurry. When the door slammed shut, Anna felt heartbroken and abandoned. She had sacrificed so much for the Salvadors and had devoted herself to Justin during their marriage. In the end, he only thought of her decade-long crush and 3 years of marriage as torture. Justin acted as if he had been released from serving a 3-year prison sentence and hurriedly abandoned Anna at the first opportunity. This was so that he could marry his childhood sweetheart, Rosalind Gold, whom he had been longing for. Anna was crushed and disheartened to find that she could not do anything to win over Justin's heart. She took a deep breath, smiled wryly, and shook her head. Her indignant tears smudged Justin's beautiful signature on the divorce papers. In the evening, Justin brought Rosalind back to Tideview Manor. Justin, the second son of the affluent Salvador family, carried a demure woman in bridal style as he walked into the manor, attracting everyone's attention. 1. "Justin, you're not divorced yet, so we shouldn't be so intimate. Otherwise, Anna will resent me if she sees us." Rosalind rubbed Justin's chest as she spoke softly. "She won't." Justin's eyes turned cold as he said, "So what if she sees us? I don't love her. She's only my wife in name, so she should know her place." The Salvadors gathered around Rosalind and greeted her while Anna was setting the table in the dining room. Justin caught a glimpse of his wife's lonely figure and smirked, thinking, "How could Anna be so servile to my family? Did she think that doing so would make me change my mind about the divorce? How ridiculous. Young Master Justin." After a while, the butler ran over to Justin. "Young madam just left." "She left? When?" "Just now. She didn't take anything with her. She just took off her apron and left through the back door. A black car picked her up." Justin hurried back to the bedroom, which was clean and tidy. He saw the signed and tear-stained divorce agreement on the bedside table. He frowned and walked over to the window, just in time to see a black Rolls-Royce driving away from Tideview Manor. Soon, its tail lights disappeared into the night. Justin thought to himself, wasn't she reluctant to leave in the afternoon? It looks like she can't wait to leave right now. 1. Ads by Pub Future. He felt that Anna had played him like a fool, So he took out his phone and called his secretary indignantly. Check whose car this belongs to. License plate number SA9999. Yes, sir. 5 minutes later, Justin's secretary called him back. Mr. Salvador, I found out that the car with that license plate number belongs to the CEO of KS Group. KS Group's CEO was the eldest son of the Thompson family, Asher. Anna came from a small town. She was poor and did not have any connections. During the past 3 years, Justin noticed that Anna did not even have a social circle because all she did was stay at home. How did she manage to get acquainted with Asher Thompson? Justin thought that Anna had already found herself a rebound guy. Mr. Salvador, did you bring up the divorce with the young madam today? His secretary asked, tentatively. Of course. Why would I drag it out? Justin felt frustrated. Oh, but it's the young madam's birthday today. Justin was taken aback when he heard this. In the back row of the black Rolls-Royce, Asher, the eldest son of the prestigious Thompson family, gently held Anna's hand. Your second brother prepared a fireworks show for you tonight to celebrate your return. I'm really not in the mood to watch fireworks. Anna resumed her identity as Bella Thompson, the heiress of the Thompson family. She leaned on her eldest brother's shoulder and burst into tears. She glanced at her old phone and read the last message she received, which was from Rosalind. You stole Justin from me. I told you that I'd make you give him up sooner or later. Justin is mine, so stop pestering him. She smiled tearfully with her eyes closed and came to a realization. What's wrong? Do you still miss him after all he has done to you? Asher hugged his sister in distress. Ash, it's my birthday today. I know. Justin is a jerk for choosing to divorce you today of all days. That's why I have no regrets. Justin just killed Anna Brown. When she opened her eyes again, she was no longer Anna Brown, the dutiful wife of Justin Salvador. Instead, she was once again Bella Thompson, the proud heiress of KS Group. This time, she would no longer be hung up on that man. Bella said, I'm over him. I'll be damned if I ever go back to him. Rosalind was Mrs. Salvador's niece, so she stayed and enjoyed a nice family dinner with the Salvadors. Justin was the only one with a frown. He had no appetite because Anna left with Asher Thompson. She did not even take anything with her, nor did she accept his $20 million compensation or the villa. Where's Anna? Why didn't she come down for dinner? Gregory Salvador, Justin's father, asked in surprise. We've already signed the divorce papers. Justin lowered his eyes and replied, I will finalize the divorce as soon as possible. Gregory was stunned. Divorce? Why? Oh, Greg, I already told you a long time ago that Justin and Anna aren't suited for each other. Your father was the one who forced them to get married. Justin's stepmother, Shannon Query, sighed and continued, that poor child has been suffering for 3 years. Now that she's willing to let go of Justin, they could both live their own lives. This is actually a good thing for them. As you know, Justin has always been in love with Rose. Justin, marriage is not child's play. Anna is also. Dad, we have signed the divorce papers, and Anna has already left. Justin frowned in frustration. Wow, I didn't expect that country bumpkin to have the backbone to leave. Bethany Salvador, Justin's half-sister, sneered. Is she just trying to play the pity card? Will she go around saying that our family mistreated her? Justin was infuriated when he heard this. Justin, you are too rash. Your grandfather is still ill. How are you going to explain this to him without aggravating him? Gregory was afraid of angering his father and felt a little anxious. I'll just tell Grandpa the truth. I will also publicly announce my marital news with Rose next month. Rosalind stared at the man's handsome side profile, completely smitten. That's absurd. Your reputation will be ruined if word gets out that you abandoned your wife of 3 years. I never cared about my reputation, and I never loved Anna. Justin was resolute. He showed no trace of regret. Uncle Greg, please don't blame Justin. It's all my fault. Rosalind leaned her head on Justin's broad shoulders and added, I shouldn't have come back to. Justin, I'll go back to Meriden first thing tomorrow. Justin, you should get back together with Anna. I don't want to be the one who breaks you up. Rose, none of this is your fault. Justin's eyes darkened as he held her slender hand and said, Anna and I are over. You've been patient enough to wait for me for 3 years, so I won't let you suffer for another day. Ads by Pub Future. The evening breeze was cool and rejuvenating. Asher took Bella on a yacht on the Moon River to enjoy the city's magnificent night view. Ash, are you trying to rub it in my face? Bella looked at the couples around her, feeling dejected. This is a popular dating spot. I don't even dare to come here because of all the PDA. Oh, well, you can blame your second brother for that. He said that he would set off fireworks here at 8 p.m. sharp. Asher elegantly raised his wrist and looked at his watch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! A huge display of purple and red fireworks bloomed in the sky. All the young couples on the deck gradually gathered on the river bank. This is so lame. Bella clicked her tongue and shook her head, but she was touched. Think about all the weird gifts you've received from him over the years. This is quite an improvement. Asher put an arm around his sister's shoulder and gently pulled her closer. You have more gifts piled up in your room. Bella, there are a lot of people who love and care about you, so you should focus on that instead. Bella suddenly felt a tingling sensation in her nose. She was touched by her brother's support. At this moment, a black Maybach stopped on the roadside. Justin took Rosalind's hand and stepped out of the car. It was chilly at night, so Rosalind stuck to Justin's chest. Wow, those fireworks are beautiful. Justin, look. Rosalind was always so cute and innocent in front of Justin, which was what he liked most about her. On the other hand, Anna was plain boring. Justin did not like her at all. In their past 3 years of marriage, the only advantage was her obedience and subservience. But to Justin, that was not worth anything because he was in love with Rosalind. Justin and Rosalind walked to the railing and saw that the fireworks formed the words, Happy Birthday. Oh, it's someone's birthday. I wonder who's so lucky to get such a gift. Rosalind sighed enviously. Justin narrowed his eyes and pressed his lips into a thin line. He felt a little frustrated. It was Anna's birthday. Did Asher prepare this fireworks show for her? Ads by Pub Future. Suddenly, a familiar and pleasant voice reached Justin's ears. A yacht passed by in front of them, and Justin saw the outstanding couple that was standing on the deck. It was none other than Anna and Asher. Huh, isn't that Anna? Who is the man next to her? He looks really familiar. They also look very close, Rosalind said innocently. Justin's face turned glum. The veins on the back of his hand were bulging from holding onto the railing too hard. He thought, I knew it. We haven't finalized the divorce, but that woman couldn't wait to run into another man's arms. Why did she have to cry so pitifully this afternoon then? 2. The yacht went around the bay twice and docked at the shore. After the crowd dispersed, Asher put an arm around Bella's waist and led her down the steps. Anna Brown. Upon hearing that name, Bella felt her body tense up. She looked back slowly and saw Justin striding toward her under the dim street lights. His handsome face still stunned her every time. But even so, her 13 years of infatuation for him were over. Justin had completely broken her heart. Who is he? Justin's expression was cold and oppressive. Mr. Salvador, it seems like you have a poor memory. Asher hugged his sister tightly and smiled handsomely. We've met more than once, being rivals in the industry. Anna, answer my question. Justin ignored Asher and pressed forward. We are divorced, Mr. Salvador. Who this gentleman is has nothing to do with you, Bella retorted in a cold voice. Justin looked shocked. He could not believe that the submissive Anna would talk to him in such an indifferent tone. We haven't officially divorced yet, and you can't wait to be with another man. Asher thought, how could this jerk sound so righteous when he was the one who had an affair first? Asher's eyes darkened. Just as he was about to step forward, Bella stopped him. Seeing this, Justin became more upset because she defended another man. Mr. Salvador, we're not officially divorced yet, but you couldn't wait to bring your sweetheart back home. I didn't even say a word about that, so what right do you have to stop me from being with someone else? Bella's black hair swayed in the wind. Her red lips curled up into a sneer, but she was so stunningly beautiful. Justin had never seen her so untamable and bold. 1. Bella continued, don't you think that's a double standard? Justin was rendered speechless. Rosalind, who had lost track of Justin earlier, finally caught up. She was angry when she saw Justin with Anna, so she stomped on her high heels and accidentally sprained her ankle. She fell to the ground and screamed, "Ah, Justin, my feet hurt so much." Justin returned to his senses and hurriedly turned around to help Rosalind get up from the ground. When he turned back, Bella and Asher had already disappeared. The Rolls-Royce drove to Yarra Park, which was the Thompson family's residence in Hatch Bay. The car stopped in the middle of the red carpet that was laid out at the front entrance. In the center stood Axel Thompson, Bella's second brother. He opened the car door for Bella and greeted her. "Welcome home, princess." Bella looked stunning under the bright lights in the mansion. She had taken off her sneakers and changed into stilettos earlier in the car. When she got out of the car, she looked like a proud queen. "Ax, how have you been?" "I'm fine, but I'm feeling much better now that you're back." "Are the fireworks nice?" "My birthday gift for you has gone viral online." Axel's handsome face was filled with excitement. "Yeah, I saw it. People are saying that you are a filthy rich bastard trying to win over someone's heart." "That's quite an achievement, huh?" Bella clapped her hands and smiled brightly at Axel. Axel ignored her mockery and hugged her tightly. "Bella, you won't leave again, right? Where else will I go now that I'm divorced?" Bella patted her second brother's back and sighed in relief. "Well, I've let everyone down. I thought I could win him over if I put all my effort into this marriage. But in the end, I failed miserably." Only God knew how devastated she was at the moment. She wanted to cry, but she held back. Bella swore that she would never shed another tear for Justin after she left Tideview Manor because he was not worth it. "That asshole. How dare he cheat on my sister? I'll start a thorough investigation on Salvador Corporation tomorrow and get your fourth brother to assassinate Justin when he's free." When Asher heard this, he lowered his eyelids and said, "Amen." "Ax, don't create trouble. You are a public prosecutor." Bella laughed bitterly. "Can you be a little more peace and love, like Ash?" "What the fuck? Your eldest brother only became a saint after he stopped being a mobster." Axel tugged on his tie angrily. "Anyway, I won't let this go. I won't stand by and watch Justin bully my sister. The Salvadors are on my radar now." Bella held Asher and Axel's hands as she walked into the home she had not returned to in a long time. When Wyatt Thompson, the chairman of KS Group, heard that his daughter was back, he could not hide his joy and paced around the study excitedly. "Wyatt, I'm back." The Rolls-Royce drove to Yarra Park, which was the Thompson family's residence in Hatch Bay. The car stopped in the middle of the red carpet that was laid out at the front entrance. In the center stood Axel Thompson, Bella's second brother. He opened the car door for Bella and greeted her. "Welcome home, princess." Bella looked stunning under the bright lights in the mansion. She had taken off her sneakers and changed into stilettos earlier in the car. When she got out of the car, she looked like a proud queen. "Ax, how have you been?" Ads by Pub Future. "I'm fine, but I'm feeling much better now that you're back." "Are the fireworks nice?" "My birthday gift for you has gone viral online." Axel's handsome face was filled with excitement. "Yeah, I saw it. People are saying that you are a filthy rich bastard trying to win over someone's heart. That's quite an achievement, huh?" Bella clapped her hands and smiled brightly at Axel. Axel ignored her mockery and hugged her tightly. "Bella, you won't leave again, right? Where else will I go now that I'm divorced?" Bella patted her second brother's back and sighed in relief. "Well, I've let everyone down. I thought I could win him over if I put all my effort into this marriage. But in the end, I failed miserably." Only God knew how devastated she was at the moment. She wanted to cry, but she held back. Bella swore that she would never shed another tear for Justin after she left Tideview Manor because he was not worth it. "That asshole. How dare he cheat on my sister? I'll start a thorough investigation on Salvador Corporation tomorrow and get your fourth brother to assassinate Justin when he's free." When Asher heard this, he lowered his eyelids and said, "Amen." "Ax, don't create trouble. You are a public prosecutor." Bella laughed bitterly. "Can you be a little more peace and love, like Ash?" "What the fuck? Your eldest brother only became a saint after he stopped being a mobster." Axel tugged on his tie angrily. "Anyway, I won't let this go. I won't stand by and watch Justin bully my sister." The Salvadors are on my radar now. Bella held Asher and Axel's hands as she walked into the home she had not returned to in a long time. When Wyatt Thompson, the chairman of KS Group, heard that his daughter was back, he could not hide his joy and paced around the study excitedly. Wyatt, I'm back. Bella walked into the study with her two brothers. She no longer had to act demure, like she did when she was living with the Salvadors. Now, she simply lay on the sofa, lifted her legs, and kicked off her high heels. Asher sat down next to her and started to give his sister a foot rub. Can you sit properly? Did you join Doctors Without Borders or the militants? Wyatt deliberately kept a straight face. He was always at odds with Bella. He would miss her when she was not around, but when she was at home, he would always get agitated. Are you showing signs of Alzheimer's? I used to sit like this all the time. Bella raised her eyelids and looked up at the wall. Her heart trembled when she saw the poem she had written more than 10 years ago hanging there. Unexpectedly, her father actually framed it. The first line of the poem was, "Were you trying to emulate Henry VIII with all your wives?" The second line was, "Here's hoping that your heart doesn't go into overdrive." The final line was, "One day, you'll pay your penance." This was the wedding gift that Bella gave to her father when he got married for the third time. Wyatt Thompson had 4 wives, which had become the talk of the town. Bella was dissatisfied with her father's polygyny, so she went abroad and joined Doctors Without Borders, helping the world in her own way. Ads by Pub Future. The first thing you do after 3 years of being out in the wild is curse me to get Alzheimer's. How considerate of you, Wyatt shouted angrily. Thanks for the compliment, Daddy. Bella pretended not to understand Wyatt's sarcasm and smiled sweetly at him. Dad, now that Bella is back, some things should be expedited. Asher put on his sister's shoes and said seriously, I decided to give up my position as CEO of KS Group to Bella. Bella narrowed her eyes and stared at her eldest brother's handsome side profile. You. Wyatt was so angry that he did not know what to say for a moment. I only promised to run KS Group for 3 years. Now that the 3-year period is up, I am going back to the church. As you know, being a CEO isn't my ambition. My lifelong dream is to become a pastor. At this moment, Asher radiated such holiness and determination that his decision seemed unquestionable. Fine, if you don't want to be CEO, then Axe can take over. Wyatt was forced to choose his second son. No. I'm a public servant, so I can't hold such positions in a conglomerate. Otherwise, I'll get suspended. Axel quickly deflected this responsibility. His face turned pale with fright. Wyatt was vexed. What was the point of having so many sons if none of them were willing to take over the family business? His health was deteriorating by the year, and he had long planned to retire. But none of his children were capable enough to inherit his business empire. Wyatt had an old-fashioned belief that his heir should be one of his sons. Who says women are inferior to men? I will become the CEO. Bella curled her red lips and raised her chin proudly. Do you think you can just be a CEO if you want to? Do you think this is child's play? Will you be able to lead the company to success? Do you even know how to do business? Wyatt was a wise old man. He could barely hide his anger and disappointment. Also, you are temperamental. You disappear for years whenever you disagree with me. Do you know how worried your stepmothers and I were? We thought you were blown to pieces at the border. Bella's heart ached, and her eyes turned slightly red. Even though she held a grudge against her father for being unfaithful to her mother, she still felt guilty for keeping her marriage to Justin a secret from him. Dad, Bella is just as capable as I am. Asher gracefully picked up a teacup and took a sip. Do you still remember the financial turmoil our company faced 4 years ago? Bella was the one who proposed various effective control measures. Bella also pulled several all-nighters working on the Walter Group acquisition plan 2 years ago. Wyatt was surprised to hear this. Dad, in fact, Bella is the calmest and most resourceful person in our family. You've always had a reputation for hiring the right people, making good use of them, and recruiting talent. Why won't you use a talent that is right in front of you now? Axel also tried his best to persuade Wyatt. Wyatt pondered for a while. Then he said in a resounding voice, Fine. Bella, if you want to run the company, then you'll have to pass my test. Consider this your birthday gift from me. Bella sat up straight, and her charming eyes lit up. You can take a few days off before your report to work at the KS World Hotel in Sevro next week. If you can revamp the hotel within 6 months and make it profitable, I will consider making you the CEO of KS Group. When the Thompson siblings came out of the study, Asher and Axel immediately placed their hands on Bella's shoulders. Asher said, God only gives big responsibilities to great people. Well, I guess you'll have to clean up that mess of a hotel first. Axel sighed. I know. That old geezer is just trying every possible way to make me back down, but it's a pity that his tricks won't work on me. I'm like a diamond that forms beautifully under pressure. Bella clenched her fists. Her ambition, which had been hibernating for the past 3 years, was finally awakened. Her brothers looked at each other and smiled. Great. We're counting on you to grant us our freedom. 5 days later, Justin called his secretary, Ian Harris, to the office after breakfast. Did you find out more about Anna? The man faced the floor-to-ceiling window and looked out at Sevro's city view. His big and tall build exuded an extremely oppressive vibe. I'm sorry, Mr. Salvador. There has been no progress. Ian wiped his sweat nervously. After the young madam left that night, she didn't go back to the nursing home where she used to work. I also went to Fogville, her hometown, to investigate in person, but the address she provided before was fake. The Brown family didn't exist in that small town. The address was fake. Justin turned around abruptly. His eyes were dark and terrifying. Yes, I went to the local police station to check her details, but they couldn't find anyone that fit the young madam's description. Ian had addressed Bella as the young madam for 3 years, so it took some time to change this habit. Justin was shocked. He thought, who the hell did I marry? A spy. She left with Asher Thompson that night. Couldn't you find any clues from him? If Mr. Thompson has the intention to hide the young madam, we probably won't be able to find anything. The words, hide the young madam, made Justin's eyebrows shoot up in anger. Asher Thompson has always been a decent man. How could he steal my wife? Well, it doesn't really count as stealing. It's more like picking up the baton. Justin shot daggers at Ian, who was so terrified that he choked on his breath. The image of Asher protecting Anna that night was still vivid in Justin's mind. Asher looked so in love with Anna. For some reason, Justin was upset about that. How could his boring wife charm Asher Thompson? In the elite circle, Asher was infamous for being emotionless. So why did he help Anna? Justin recalled a scene from the night they signed the divorce papers. Justin, can we please stay married? Because I love you. What a liar. Justin squinted his eyes. His body exuded a chill. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. It was a vicious cycle. Ads by Pub Future. At this time, his phone vibrated on the table. Justin shoved his thoughts aside and saw Rosalind on his caller ID, so he hurriedly answered the call. Rose, what's wrong? Justin, I'm in your office lobby. Can you take me upstairs? I made you some snacks, and I want you to try them as soon as possible. Rosalind's overly sweet voice over the phone made Ian shudder. You're downstairs. Justin frowned in surprise. Yeah. Don't you want to see me? Rosalind asked softly. I do. I'll get Lan to bring you upstairs. After hanging up the phone, Justin looked a little glum. He had yet to finalize the divorce with Anna, and the news of their divorce had not been made public. If Rosalind came to visit him at the office at such a delicate time, it might stir up unnecessary trouble, even though Justin could handle it. At this time, his phone vibrated again. Justin looked down at the screen and felt nervous. Yes, Grandpa. You bastard. Did you ignore everything I said? Nigel Salvador, Justin's grandfather, yelled over the phone. I told you that you're not allowed to have any contact with that Rosalind girl since you married Anna. You broke your promise and even brought her to the office. I don't care about your reputation. Think about how Anna would feel about this. You'd better get your ass over here now. The air in the reception room was suffocating. Nigel leaned on a cane and sat down in the chair with the help of his personal secretary and his son, Gregory. His face was gloomy. Justin stood in front of his elders while Rosalind was locked outside because, in Nigel's words, this bitch isn't worthy of my time. Tell me, What's going on with you and that woman? Nigel slammed his cane on the ground. Dad, please calm down. Gregory hurriedly patted his father's back and glared at Justin. Grandpa, our 3-year marriage contract has expired. Justin's voice was hoarse as he replied. You promised me that I only needed to marry Anna for 3 years. When the 3 years are up to me to continue the marriage or get a divorce. Nigel's face turned pale. He felt like he had been struck by lightning. Anna had accompanied Nigel daily for the past 3 years. He was so happy with her he did not even realize that his grandson's marriage contract had ended. Company. That. Justin added indifferently, now, I choose to end this marriage and be with the woman I truly love. You shouldn't object because Anna has also signed the divorce papers. We'll finalize the divorce soon. Ads by Pub Future. What? You are already divorced. Nigel was furious. When he stood up, he almost collapsed. Justin rushed forward to help his grandfather, but Nigel pushed him away angrily. Dad, they haven't finalized the divorce yet. They only signed the papers. Don't get too aggravated. Otherwise, you'll get a stroke. Gregory was afraid that his father's chronic illness would relapse, so he hurriedly comforted the old man. Damn it, I already have an obnoxious daughter-in-law. Why can't I at least have a granddaughter-in-law that I like? Justin froze, not knowing whether to stretch out or let go of his grandfather. Gregory was implicated for no reason in his father's wrath. I want Anna. Go and find her. I can't eat or sleep well without Anna. I don't want anyone else to be my granddaughter-in-law. I just want my Anna. The older Nigel got, the more he acted like a child. He even threw a tantrum. Justin, why don't you call Anna and bring her over to see your grandfather? Gregory urged. Grandpa, it's useless for you to act like this. Even if I ask her to come back to accompany you now, our marriage is over. There's no way I'll continue it. Justin thought that it was better to rip off the band-aid. Instead of delaying the news, it would be better to just tell his grandfather to stop thinking about her. As time went by, his grandfather's reliance on Anna would fade. Nigel's body trembled, and he fell backward. This time, Justin and Gregory were frightened. They called a doctor and looked for Nigel's medicine. Justin felt helpless. He had no choice but to call Anna. As a result, Justin only heard an automated voice saying, "The number you have dialed is no longer in service." Anna disappeared and even cancelled her phone number. Damn it! Justin's eyes were red with anger, and he clenched his fists fiercely. On the other hand, all the senior executives of KS World Hotel were gathered outside the main entrance to welcome their new general manager. I heard that the new general manager is a young woman. I don't believe that the new manager will be able to turn the hotel around. The past 4 managers failed to do it. They either resigned or got transferred. How could a young woman turn the tide? I heard that she is Chairman Wyatt's daughter. Chairman Wyatt has so many wives. I guess this general manager is one of his unfavored illegitimate daughters. Why else would he send his daughter to clean up this mess? Everyone snickered. Here she comes. The new boss is here. A top-of-the-line Rolls-Royce came to a stop at the main entrance, followed by several top-range Maybachs. The convoy was quite spectacular. When everyone saw the 9999 license plate, they were silent for a moment and held their breaths. The first thing that came into view was a sky-high black Louboutin. The next second, a stunning woman with an amazing figure and lush black hair stepped out of the car. Her sharp eyes were cold, which made the crowd avert their gazes. Hello, everyone. Bella parted her rosy lips and flashed a beautiful smile. I am your new general manager, but I am not an illegitimate daughter. Sorry to disappoint. As soon as she said this, the people who were gossiping about her moments ago were so frightened that they broke out in a cold sweat. A few minutes ago, Bella was in the car, using her laptop to hack into the 2 surveillance cameras at the hotel entrance. As a result, the senior executives were embarrassed to be caught red-handed gossiping about their new boss. That's absurd. Thompson is the only legitimate daughter of the Thompson family. What's going on in their heads? Ash's secretary, Stephen Lovett, was fuming in the passenger seat. Being legitimate or illegitimate doesn't matter. We're no longer in the Middle Ages. Why are you so worked up, Steve? Bella narrowed her bright eyes and reached out to pinch Steven's cheek. His cute face instantly turned red. Bella, you are the future CEO of KS Group. Will you act the part? Don't harass Steve. Asher frowned slightly. What's wrong with that? No one says anything when a male boss teases a female secretary. Bella clicked her tongue and added, also, it's his honor that I touch him. Asher shook his head and looked dotingly at his sister. The Thompson siblings walked into the hotel, surrounded by senior executives. Michael Gordon, the vice president of the hotel, kept leading them toward the VIP elevator. However, Bella suddenly said, I want to see the restaurant first. Bella cut right to the chase as soon as she entered the hotel and started the inspection. Michael led the Thompson siblings to the restaurant apprehensively. Asher remained calm and played his part as an invisible man, allowing his sister to take the reins. However, he had a strong presence. There were no customers in the restaurant before opening time at noon, but the waiters were already placing some dishes on the counter. Bella's sharp eyes swept over the dishes and suddenly stopped at the live seafood section. She rolled up her sleeves, stretched an arm into a small aquarium, and accurately picked out a dead shrimp from hundreds of other shrimp. Explain. It's not dead, Michael stumbled. If it's not dead, why don't you eat it? Bella curled her red lips. Thompson, there are so many shrimp in this aquarium. There will inevitably be a few dead ones. Here and there. It's normal for shrimp to die in an aquarium, but do you think it's alright that a customer eats a dead shrimp and gets food poisoning? Ads by Pub Future. Bella's smile instantly faded as she continued, also, there are a total of 356 shrimp in this aquarium. I took a glance and found 5 dead and no less than 30 half-dead ones. I don't know how the guests will feel about eating this kind of food for $100 per person. But if I were a customer, I would never set foot in this hotel again. Finally, she added, check all the ingredients in the seafood section immediately and replace the supplier. If I see another dead shrimp tomorrow, I will make sure you eat them in front of me. Michael was so frightened that his legs wobbled. All the other senior executives were also shocked. Only Asher and Steven knew that Bella had a photographic memory. Back when she was young, she even used her ability to help the police solve a major criminal case. Counting a few shrimp was nothing to Bella. When they arrived at the guest rooms, Bella asked Steven for a white handkerchief and gently wiped the wall and picture frame. The cleaning isn't done properly. There is still dust on the surfaces, so it needs to be redone. The senior executives were secretly complaining about Bella. I know that you all must be cursing me secretly, thinking that I'm just making a fuss out of nothing and being picky, right? Bella looked calm, but her tone was extremely serious. Our hotel has been around for a century. It's the details that often get overlooked. If the star rating committee does an inspection, these 2 problems will be enough to strip us of our star. She shot a look at Steven, who understood what she wanted and instructed in a deep voice, open the door to this guest room. The head of the housekeeping department came to open the door apprehensively. In previous inspections, they would just show the boss 2 sample rooms. However, this new boss was unpredictable and did not follow conventional methods. Bella walked into the guest room. She inspected the bathroom before walking into the bedroom and sitting on the bed. Her delicate face instantly turned gloomy. However, she did not say anything and ended the inspection. Then she went to the general manager's office with her eldest brother. What do you think after one round of inspection? Asher asked with a smile. Ugh, it's an absolute mess. Bella sat listlessly on the sofa and leaned on the armrest. She sighed and said, is Wyatt testing me or playing with me? This hotel is dreadful. I can't believe it's under KS Group. Bella, Grandpa founded this hotel. KS Group relied on this hotel in the early years to expand to our current scale. This hotel is not a mess, but a sentimental place for 3 generations of our family. But because KS Group is too big and the hotel industry has been in recession for the past 2 years, we have neglected the hotel's management. Asher blamed himself and sighed helplessly. Sorry, Bella, you'll have to work harder to get it back into shape. Suddenly, Bella noticed the black piano in the corner and gasped. I got someone to place this piano here. I remember you would play the piano or go for a few laps at the racecourse when you were in a bad mood back then. Asher blinked. I think you'll be very busy in the next 2 months, so horseback riding isn't a realistic option. If you're tired, you can play a few songs on the piano. I remember that you play the piano very well. Thanks, Ash, but I haven't played the piano in a long time. Ads by Pub Future. Bella's throat tightened. The scar deep in her heart that had finally healed split open again, burning her chest. How come? Asher was surprised. When I was with Doctors Without Borders, I accidentally injured my hand while rescuing the wounded on the battlefield. I tore a ligament in my pinky, so it's not as sensitive anymore. I could no longer manage an octave, so I just stopped playing the piano. Bella tried her best to explain calmly. Asher's heart ached. He quickly held his sister's hand. Did you get hurt because of Justin? Sort of. When Bella heard Justin's name, her heart still ached. However, she still flashed a bright smile. I got hurt for the sake of world peace. I'm trying to make my family proud. 5 years ago, Bella met Justin, whom she had longed for, again on the battlefield at the border of Cridder. She was a field doctor, and he was a soldier in the peacekeeping force. He fought for peace, and she almost lost her hand trying to bring a seriously injured Justin to safety. Back then, Bella regarded this as a great honor. Now, her heart ached every time she saw her numb pinky. However, that was all in the past. She would not cry or regret having fallen in love with the wrong person. Stephen knocked on the door and hurriedly walked in. Bella, I've checked the suppliers of our hotel's bedding and furniture as per your request. They are called Alia Furniture, and Mr. Gordon is the person in contact with them. Haha, so it's Alia Furniture. Bella crossed her slender legs and narrowed her eyes dangerously. Tell the finance department to go through the hotel's accounts in the past 2 years. Also, contact a new bedding supplier immediately and replace Alia Furniture. Such a big move. Asher raised his eyebrows. Alia Furniture was founded by Justin's sweetheart's brother. Oh, it's a personal vendetta, huh? Asher and Steven spoke at the same time. No, it's because Alia sold us cheap and shoddy bedding. I just want justice. Bella snorted. She got angry just thinking about that hard and shabby mattress. An uncomfortable stay would give guests a bad impression of the hotel. No wonder there were so many bad reviews online. By the way, there's one more thing. Steven added, Mr. Asher asked me to pay attention to the Salvador family's movements. I just received news that Nigel Salvador was hospitalized due to a stroke. He happens to be staying in a hospital under KS Group. Grandpa is in the hospital. Bella stood up anxiously. At this moment, Asher's phone rang. He looked at the screen and snickered. Bella, it's your ex-husband. Bella was shocked to see Justin's name on Asher's caller ID. Should I answer? Asher asked. Yup. Asher put the call on the speaker. Mr. Thompson, is my wife with you? Justin asked in a hoarse voice. Bella was infuriated because she was annoyed that Justin called her his wife. Mr. Salvador, please, watch your words. I am your ex-wife now. Anna Brown. So you really are with him. Justin's voice became deeper. Where else can I be? Should I stay in your house and wait for you to kick me out? 2. How mean of him. Justin's expression was gloomy. Stop being so impatient. We haven't finalized the divorce yet, so you are still my wife in name. You should at least care about Salvador Corporation's image and your own reputation. You carried Rosalind into Tideview Manor while we were still married and forced me to sign the divorce papers. Justin, did you even care about my feelings? Bella sneered. I always treat people as they treat me. Why should I care about your company's image now? After all, I have given up my title as the CEO's wife to your beloved Rosalind. Go to her if you're so worried about the company's reputation. Asher raised his eyebrows and took a sip of tea. This was the real Bella Thompson. The well-behaved and docile wife who never complained about anything during the 3 years of her marriage was just a persona she created exclusively for Justin. Although Asher loved his sister no matter what, he still preferred it when she was a force to be reckoned with. Fortunately, that bold and fearless Bella was back. I don't have time to argue with you now. Justin's voice sounded a little tired. Grandpa is hospitalized, and he has been asking to see you. He refuses to take his medicine until he sees you. 1. Bella's heart trembled. Even though she and Justin had parted ways, Nigel had been nice to her during the 3 years she stayed with the Salvadors. When Bella left, she gave up everything. The only person she missed was Nigel. He's in KS hospital, right? I'll go over to see Grandpa later. After hanging up the phone, Bella sighed deeply with a heavy heart. Ads by Pub Future. Bella, I'll take you there, Asher offered. It's fine. I'm going to see Grandpa, not to provoke Justin. If you send me there, the conflict will only intensify. Bella waved her hands in distress. I'll just drive there myself. At the hospital, Justin and Ian stood guard in front of Nigel's ward. Bella hurriedly walked over. She had not seen Justin for a few days, but she could tell at a glance that he had lost weight. She thought, damn it. Why should I care? It has nothing to do with me whether he lost or gained weight. I don't care if he dies. The two men only looked up when they heard the clicking of her high heels against the floor. They were both startled, especially Justin. He almost did not recognize that the woman in front of him had been his wife for 3 years. Mr. Harris, how's Grandpa doing? Bella did not even look at Justin and only spoke to Ian. Ian, madam, is that you? Ian was dumbfounded and asked a particularly dumb question. The lady in front of him was stunning, with exquisite makeup. Her red lips were incredibly sexy, and her slim black suit made her legs look so long. She looked like a hotshot lady boss. The butterfly ruby brooch on her chest was also extremely dazzling, but it did not outshine her bright eyes. Only then did Bella realize that she had forgotten to change into a white dress and sneakers. Typical attire for the docile Anna Brown because she was in such a hurry. Yes, in the flesh. Why are you so shocked? Do you not like my new look? No, you look much prettier than before. You also look more confident and energetic dressed like this. Ian voiced his thoughts. Really, that might be because I just got divorced. Bella smirked and added, I climbed out of a hellhole and saw the light of day again, so of course I'd look more energetic. Justin's handsome face darkened for a moment. He felt frustrated. If you thought my house was a hellhole, why did you stay with me for 3 years? I've told you more than once that you're free to break the contract. I could have taken you to see Grandpa at any time. You didn't need to stick around like you were serving a 3-year sentence. Bella's heart ached. This was Justin Salvador. No one could sway him from his decisions. If he liked someone, he would treat them like a treasure. If he disliked someone, he would ignore them, no matter what they did for him. Bella fell head over heels in love with this cold and aloof man. The price she paid for this love was also unforgettable. I promised Grandpa that I would stay with you for 3 years, so I wanted to keep my word. But you're finally free, Mr. Salvador. From now on, you can bring any woman home, and you no longer have to sneak out to meet your lover. Bella sneered, but she still looked gorgeous. Justin felt his throat tighten. He thought, why was this woman so two-faced? Did she think that she could be reckless after our divorce? But I have to admit that she's much more eye-catching with this fierce personality than her. Meek look before. Ads by Pub Future. Justin's eyes shone with admiration. Justin. Bella looked back to see Rosalind and Shannon walking over in a hurry. Seeing that Bella was there, Rosalind looked a little hostile, but she quickly hid it behind a lovely smile. Why are you here? Justin asked in surprise. As soon as he finished speaking, Rosalind threw herself into his arms and hugged his waist. Justin, why didn't you tell me about such a big incident? Do you not think of me as your family? Justin, you didn't see how worried Rose was when she heard that your grandfather was admitted to the hospital. She even puked some of her lunch. Shannon looked at her niece with distress. Why did you throw up? Is everything okay? Justin's eyes were filled with concern. Rose always had stomach issues. She gets nauseous whenever she's afraid or nervous. She has gone to many doctors, and they all said it's not a serious problem. There's no cure for it, though. Shannon sighed. I will find a doctor to treat Rose. If there are no results, I will take her abroad to see a specialist. Justin's voice was soft. He put his arms around Rosalind's waist. 1. Bella sneered and recalled the time that she had gone to the hospital alone due to the stomach flu. She was sweating profusely and looked very weak and pale. But Justin did not even ask about her. It turned out that Justin knew how to care for people. But to him, Bella just did not deserve his attention. Rosalind leaned closer to Justin and looked at Bella with a sly smile. She thought, wait a second. Why does Anna look like this now? How did she become so beautiful? That butterfly brooch was the latest work of Alexa, the best jewelry designer in Orbia. It was worth $5 million. How could this poor country girl afford such luxurious jewelry? How could this bitch be so rich? Justin, let Rose accompany you to see your grandfather. Rose cried once on the way here because she was so worried. Shannon encouraged her stepson to be with her niece and completely disregarded her ex-daughter-in-law, who had taken care of them for 3 years. Bella's face was cold. She did not care about Justin anymore, let alone the rest of the Salvador family. At this time, the door to the ward opened. Nigel's secretary, Matt Upton, came out. Mr. Salvador asked me to check if his granddaughter-in-law had arrived. When Rosalind heard this, her expression stiffened, and she could not hide her jealousy. I'm here, Uncle Matt. Bella stepped forward anxiously. She was worried about Nigel, so she did not bother to correct Matt's address for her. Young Madam. Matt gestured politely toward the ward. Please come in with young Master Justin. Bella walked into the ward without saying a word. Justin pursed his thin lips and followed her in. Justin, wait for me. Rosalind wanted to follow, but Matt stopped her. I'm sorry, Mr. Salvador only invited his grandson and granddaughter-in-law inside. He won't see anyone else. You may leave. In the ward, the sickly Nigel immediately looked energetic again the moment he saw Bella. His eyes lit. 1. Anna, come to Grandpa. Bella switched her persona in a split second and sat obediently next to Nigel. Grandpa, how are you feeling? Do you have any discomfort? I feel much better now that I can see you. Nigel held her hand and asked anxiously, Anna, this punk told me that you two are divorced. Is it true? Yes, Grandpa, we are divorced. Bella's long eyelashes trembled, and her heart felt empty. Justin, you imbecile. Why would you divorce such a good wife? Anna is the best there is. Nigel struggled to sit up, and he glared at Justin. Justin was worried about his grandfather's health and dared not retort. Grandpa, please don't get mad. I didn't want to continue this marriage, and Justin went along with it. Bella comforted Nigel in a soft voice and gently patted the old man's back. Justin was shocked that Bella did not complain to his grandfather or use his grandfather to get her revenge on him. He thought, was she trying to use an unconventional way to capture my heart and save our marriage? Did she think that I would be attracted to her? 1. Anna, did they bully you at home? Did Shannon treat you badly? Nigel asked in distress. No, Grandpa. Justin and I just have different views. We don't love each other, so it's in both our interests to go our separate ways. Bella's bright eyes held a hint of grief. Don't blame Justin. We've had some wonderful memories over the past 3 years, and that's enough. I don't have any regrets. Justin frowned as he felt a surge of mixed emotions. He did not recall having any good memories with Anna. They did not even have a wedding when they got married. They only got their marriage license hastily at Nigel's insistence. Then she moved into Tideview Manor with a small suitcase. Just like that, she became his wife for 3 years. Did she really have wonderful memories with him? She was probably saying the exact opposite. Anna, did I make a mistake? Ads by Pub Future. Nigel's eyes were watery as he sighed in remorse. I really wanted you to be happy. That's why I insisted that the two of you get married. I didn't expect this punk to be so rude. I'm so sorry. Don't say that, Grandpa. Everything happens for a reason. I've let the past go completely. Bella let go of 13 years of infatuation. Only God knew how much it hurt her. Justin was determined to get a divorce. If she kept pestering him, she would only lose her dignity. Bella did not want to turn into a resentful woman just to win over a man's heart. Matt, bring me the birthday gift I prepared for my granddaughter-in-law. Matt quickly put on some white gloves and took out an exquisite red velvet jewelry box. He opened the box to reveal an exquisite emerald green jade bracelet. Bella knew how to appraise treasures, so she could tell at a glance that this jade was an antique that was at least 100 years old. Grandpa, isn't this Grandma's? Justin was stunned to see the bracelet. Yes, this is the bracelet I gave your grandmother back when we first started dating. It's a family heirloom that was passed down from your great-grandfather. As Nigel spoke, he picked up the bracelet and looked at it under the light. His gaze softened as he continued, "Your grandmother told me that this was her favorite jade bracelet among all her jewelry. She hoped that I could give this bracelet to my favorite granddaughter-in-law. Now that your grandmother is gone, I want to give this to my favorite girl, Anna. Only she deserves this treasure." "No, Grandpa. This is too expensive. Not to mention, I'm no longer Justin's wife." Bella refused in a panic. "Even if you and Justin are no longer together, you are still the only granddaughter-in-law that I will ever acknowledge." When Nigel saw Bella's refusal, he immediately pretended to get angry and said, "Fine. If you don't want it, I'll just break it." "No, no." Bella hurriedly grabbed Nigel's raised hand. Her heart trembled with fear. "I'll take it, Grandpa. Thank you. That's my girl." Nigel slipped the bracelet onto Bella's wrist. Bella had fair and smooth skin. The translucent emerald green stone made her skin glow brighter. Justin had never noticed her hands. Now that he was staring at the bracelet, he noticed that her skin was soft and fair. It was not at all dulled by the bracelet. Her hand was indeed beautiful. "Punk, what did you give Anna for her birthday?" Nigel asked angrily. "Grandpa, Justin gave me an unforgettable gift." Justin secretly clenched his fists and pressed his thin lips so hard that they turned white. On her birthday, he did give her a big gift, the divorce papers. Justin thought, "Anna is certainly great at mocking me. Anna, are you and Justin really over? You can't get back together." Nigel still refused to give up. Ads by Pub Future. "Grandpa." Bella gently held Nigel's wrinkled hand. "If you really love me, you should support me and let me live the life I want." Sigh. "Since it has come to this, there is nothing that I can do. I just have one small request. Can you wait until after my 80th birthday to finalize the divorce? It's only a slight delay." Nigel tried his best to keep Anna around because he was extremely reluctant to give up such a brilliant granddaughter-in-law. "Grandpa, this is inappropriate." Justin frowned and spoke decisively. "Why is it inappropriate? Is it only appropriate if you bring that Rosalind girl over to me and force me to acknowledge her as my granddaughter-in-law at my 80th birthday party? Rosalind and Shannon think that they can do whatever they want because they've got you and your father whipped. They can dream on." Nigel was so angry that he pounded the bed. "If you still respect me as your grandfather and want me to live for another 2 more years, you'd best stay away from that bitch. I will never acknowledge her as my granddaughter-in-law." Outside the door, Rosalind paced around anxiously. She gritted her teeth and stomped her feet in anger. "Stop pacing around. I'm feeling dizzy just looking at you." Shannon rubbed her temples and shook her head. "You need to be more patient. You know that Nigel doesn't like you. How long will he be able to call the shots when he already has a foot in the grave? You just need to put up with him for a while and keep Justin's heart." "Yeah, but if that old man doesn't die, I can't marry Justin because that old fart will never recognize me as part of the Salvador family." Rosalind quickly covered her mouth and looked around nervously when she realized she had a slip of the tongue. "Back then, he also refused to accept me, but what could he do? In the end, I still married Gregory." Shannon admired her newly done manicure. "Humans are emotional beings. Justin is his grandson, so as long as Justin insists on you, you don't need to care what that old man thinks." Rosalind thought what her aunt said made sense and finally calmed down. At this time, the door to the ward opened. Matt sent Justin and Bella out. Rosalind hurriedly hid her scheming expression and stepped forward, looking meek. She was shocked to see the jade bracelet on Bella's wrist. It was so beautiful that she could not take her eyes away. It was so much nicer than the so-called family heirloom she was wearing at the moment. Bella did not wear this bracelet when she went into the ward. Who else could have given it to her if not that old man? Rosalind was so jealous that she could barely think straight. She suddenly had a wicked thought. She walked in front of Bella and pretended to slip. Rosalind wanted to pretend that she had slipped and fallen on Bella so that she could pull out Bella's bracelet and break it. However, Bella squinted her eyes and gracefully avoided Rosalind, so Rosalind fell flat on the floor. Suddenly, Rosalind heard a crisp clink. Rosalind's bracelet had broken into 2 pieces. "Oh, no. Are you all right, Rose?" Shannon was shocked, but she wanted to laugh. Upon seeing this, Justin hurriedly stepped forward to pull Rosalind up from the floor, but she refused to move. Rosalind cried, "Justin, it hurts, will you carry me?" Her knees were numb from the fall. Bella crossed her arms and stared at the woman on the floor. Rosalind was such a fake bitch in front of Justin. "Justin, Brown pushed me." Rosalind timidly hid in Justin's embrace and glanced at Bella sinisterly. "Rose, what did you say?" Justin was startled. "Are you sure that I pushed you?" Bella smiled. She did not get angry. Instead, she was enjoying Rosalind's acting. "Why would I fall all of a sudden?" Rosalind was so angry that her usually soft voice rose in pitch. "That's not completely impossible. After all, you look so weak that a gust of wind can blow you over. How dare you insult me?" Rosalind was so angry that her face turned red. "I clearly felt your hand pushing me from behind. Why aren't you admitting it?" Gold. There are surveillance cameras everywhere, so stop accusing me." Suddenly, Bella's bright and clear eyes darkened. She looked intimidating. "I can sue you for defamation once I get the evidence." Justin blinked in shock. He felt that Anna was completely different than before. She was no longer the boring, honest, and humble wife who stayed alone in an empty house. Rosalind was obviously intimidated by Bella and hurriedly looked to Shannon for help. "Oh, it's all a misunderstanding." Shannon glanced at the surveillance camera above her head and smiled to smooth things over. Rose must have accidentally slipped because she didn't stand firm. She probably bumped into Anna and thought that Anna pushed her. "It's all a misunderstanding. Rose, did you slip by yourself?" Justin lowered his eyes and stared at the woman in his arms. His tone was a little cold. "I thought she pushed me." Justin narrowed his eyes. Rosalind was flustered and simply blamed Bella. "If she didn't move out of the way, I wouldn't have fallen. She obviously did it on purpose. The bracelet my grandmother passed on to me is also broken now. It's a gold family heirloom. It wouldn't be broken if it weren't for her." Brown, I know that you're mad about the divorce, but you shouldn't vent your anger on me. Is it my fault that you got divorced? Rosalind cried again. Ads by Pub Future. She really had an endless supply of tears. First of all, I'm not mad about the divorce. On the contrary, I'd like to thank you for helping me escape that hellhole. I no longer have to wait from dusk to dawn like an abandoned wife. Bella raised her chin slightly and retorted. Wait from dusk until dawn. Justin was puzzled. Secondly, if this bracelet is really a family heirloom, you should be thanking me. Bella walked over, picked up half of the bracelet, and put it under the light. It's fake. What? Rosalind and Shannon were stunned. This bracelet is filled with toxic glue, so prolonged exposure is detrimental to your health. Bella casually threw the bracelet into the trash can. The emerald green jade bracelet on her wrist was the biggest mockery to Rosalind. Mr. Salvador, since you want to marry Gold, why don't you buy some decent jewelry for her? Anna. Justin frowned angrily. I have a jade toad on my dressing table at Tideview Manor that I think suits you, Rosalind. You can make it into a bracelet if you wish. Bella patted the dust off her hands as if the bracelet she touched earlier was contaminated. Rosalind thought, a toad. This bitch is clearly trying to insult me in a roundabout way. Rosalind was furious. She tried to retaliate, but Bella had already left. Outside the hospital, Bella could not help but laugh when she thought of Rosalind's expression. Anna. Bella looked back indifferently when she heard Justin's deep voice. The breeze blew a few strands of her black hair, adding a hint of messiness to her flawless beauty. Justin narrowed his eyes and walked up to her. Yes, Mr. Salvador. Bella was expressionless. If Gold is still hung up over her bracelet, you can tell her that I will send her a cart of bracelets tomorrow. When we were in the ward, you told Grandpa. 3. Oh, don't think too much about it. I just didn't want to make Grandpa angry. Her eyes softened. When she mentioned Nigel, we're even now. Bella looked confused. You faked your identity and went out of your way to marry me. I won't tell Grandpa or anyone else in the family about that. Justin's expression was gloomy and dangerous. Bella widened her eyes in shock. But you have to tell me why you used a false identity to marry me. No, I shouldn't ask that. Ads by Pub Future. Justin slowly approached her. What was your motive for using a false identity to get close to Grandpa? Bella's heart clenched, and she took a step back. As a result, she forgot that there were some steps behind her. She lost her footing and fell backward. The next second, she felt a warm hand on her waist as Justin pulled her up. When their eyes met, Bella blushed, and Justin's breathing became erratic. Until this moment, she still thought that Justin was handsome. Everything about him was to her taste. Bella remembered the first time she saw these bright eyes. It was 13 years ago, and she was just 11 years old back then. She was lost in the dark forest, and it was raining heavily. Justin had saved her life once. Without him, Bella would not be alive today. Now, Justin had broken her heart and hurt her so badly that she thought it was the worst thing she could experience. Justin withdrew his arm and helped Bella stand upright. Thanks. Answer the question I just asked. Justin was persistent. I am no longer your wife, and I have the right not to tell you. Bella smiled coldly and turned around. Since you said that we're even now, why bother? Even if I married you with a fake identity, I haven't done anything to hurt you in the past 3 years, right? Suddenly, Justin grabbed her arm and said solemnly, we haven't finalized the divorce yet, so you are still my wife in name. You have an obligation to let me know who you really are. I'm not telling you. Bella's breathing quickened, and her eyes turned red. Mr. Salvador, don't you think you are being ridiculous by mentioning obligations? You haven't once fulfilled your obligations as a husband in the past 3 years, so what gives you the right to ask me to fulfill mine as a wife? Anna, don't think that I won't do anything to you. Justin suddenly pulled her into his arms. They were so close that their breaths intertwined. Justin was not someone who would get angry easily, but this woman had been stepping on his toes lately. She surely was capable. Then go and investigate. Why bother asking me? Bella forcefully broke away from his grasp and left without looking back. Justin stared at the woman's graceful back and remembered her flaming red lips and those sharp heels. His chest tightened. He thought, why did she adopt this style? Was she catering to Asher Thompson's taste? She's evil and unfaithful. I really don't know what Grandpa sees in her. Mr. Salvador, Ems. Gold said that she has sprained her ankle. She wants you to accompany her. Ian ran over, panting heavily. Suddenly, there was a loud roar from a sports car engine. Wow, that's the young madam. Justin was stunned when he saw his ex-wife driving a black supercar. She passed him by, looking so arrogant. She was driving a top-of-the-line limited edition supercar, a Bugatti La Voiture. OMG. It turns out that the young madam is a low-key tycoon. Ian's eyes widened. Justin's eyes darkened, and he slowly clenched his fists. Follow her. Bella held the steering wheel with one hand and sped down the road. She blasted Survivor by Destiny's Child on the car's speaker. She was not afraid of Justin investigating her background. She just did not understand why a man who had ignored her for 3 years started to become curious about her only after their divorce. Justin was a total jerk. He only looked at her with disgust when she cared about him. But when she treated him coldly, he kept pestering her. Bella frowned slightly when she glanced at the rearview mirror. Justin's Lamborghini was not far behind her. Ha! He thinks he can catch up to me, ha! Dream on. Bella smirked and floored the gas pedal. Her Bugatti shot forward like a bolt of lightning and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Quick, follow her closely. Justin, who was sitting in the passenger seat, urged Ian. Ian had never driven so fast before. He felt like his heart was about to leap out of his body. Ian tried his best to catch up to the Bugatti and finally saw its tail lights. Justin's face was expressionless, but he was secretly relieved. Mr. Salvador, the young madam has such amazing driving skills. No wonder she has the Fujiwara tofu shop sticker. Ian sighed in admiration. What tofu shop? Justin frowned in confusion. Look at her booty. Justin's face darkened instantly. Ian was so frightened that he broke out in a cold sweat. Sorry, I meant her car bumper. Justin took a closer look and saw that there was indeed a white sticker on the back of the Bugatti that read, Fujiwara Tofu Shop A86. It was kind of funny. Don't you know, the young madam likes to watch anime, especially Initial D. This anime was always playing on the living room TV every time I saw her. Ian became more excited. I didn't expect the young madam to be such a skilled driver. I always thought she was a weak girl who couldn't take care of herself. Justin was also deceived by this woman. What irritated Justin more was that his secretary knew more about his wife than he did. Oh no, young madam is speeding up. Follow her. If you can't keep up, I'll deduct your annual salary. Justin clenched his teeth. His handsome face was as perfect as a sculpture. Ian was afraid of having his wages deducted, but he was even more afraid of getting into an accident and killing them both. In the end, Bella made 2 sharp turns, and they could no longer see her tail lights. I lost her, Ian shrank back. Ads by Pub Future. Justin pounded the car window. The veins on his forehead were bulging. He thought, Anna, what are you hiding from me? What is your true identity? Asterisk. At night, Asher and Axel went to their sister's private villa. The Thompson brothers were busy cooking in the open-concept kitchen while Bella was playing video games. She sucked on a lollipop while watching her handsome brothers cook. Woohoo! Aced it. Bella looked at her achievements on the screen and clapped her hands proudly. You're not at all rusty, Bella. Axel looked at her with his bright eyes. He had the most charming smile among her brothers. Look at my score. It's perfect. Bella looked so cute kneeling on the chair and swinging the lollipop like a wand. Axel retorted, Ha, how smug of you. Let's play a game, and I'll put you in your place. Bella won by so much last time that your name is no longer on the ranking. So, don't embarrass yourself, Asher said as he cut up a cube of steak and fed it to Bella. HMPH. That was only because Drew backed out. He suddenly had a mission. Otherwise, we would definitely win. Axel was quite unconvinced. I'm going to start cooking. Bella, you should wait in the living room because you're allergic to smoke. Asher gently reminded her. Bella was stunned for a moment. She suddenly felt like crying. She did not dare tell her brothers that she had been cooking for the Salvadors for the past 3 years, even though she was allergic to smoke. She had been smelling cooking fumes for 3 years, so she gradually became immune to them. Her hands also had calluses. If she told them, Asher might show some mercy because of his faith, but her 3 other brothers would probably crush the Salvador family. Bella was the Thompson family's princess. They never asked her to lift a finger, so how could they allow the Salvadors to treat her like a slave? Fortunately, Bella returned home. She promised that she would never humble herself for a man she would never get. At this time, Asher's phone rang. He quickly wiped his hands on his apron and took out his phone. Then he looked at Bella with a complicated look. Bella, it's your ex-husband again. What the fuck? Does he think that he can just call you whenever he likes? Bella's face turned red with anger. The lollipop in her mouth fell to the table. What do you mean? Is that jerkface pestering you, Ash? Axel sat next to Bella and picked up the lollipop from the table, putting it in his own mouth like it was normal. No way. Did that asshole think that Asher was your boyfriend after he saw you guys watching fireworks by the Moon River? Yeah, Axel shouted. What the hell? Is he blind? Ads by Pub Future. What? Am I not handsome enough to be Bella's boyfriend? Asher laughed. Justin must be blind. You don't look like boyfriend material. You look more like Bella's father with the way you act around her. Her brothers joked around, trying to make her feel better. Bella was so touched that she was going to burst into tears. They were so entertaining. Should I pick it up? Asher asked. Axel said, hell no. Bella said, yes. Asher listened to his sister and put the call on speaker mode. I'm looking for my wife. Justin sounded calmer than he did in the morning. He even sounded a little possessive. What the hell? Axel was so angry that he was about to cuss Justin out, but Bella slammed his head down on the table. Mr. Salvador, Anna is no longer your wife. You're divorced now. Asher reminded Justin calmly. He also remembered to use Anna's name so as not to reveal Bella's true identity. She knows that she's still my wife. Justin's tone was so cold that the Thompsons felt a dip in temperature in the kitchen. Justin, why were you chasing me so aggressively just now? Bella switched off the speakerphone and asked irritably. I have something to say to you in private. Bella walked into a room, closed the door, and took a deep breath before she replied, I'm busy, so cut to the chase. Why did you change your phone number? Justin asked in a stern voice. I just want a fresh start. How will Grandpa contact you? Give me your new number so that I can contact you next time. Justin spoke righteously. That's easy. You can call Mr. Thompson if you want to contact me. Bella smiled mockingly. Anna, is this your way of getting revenge on me? Justin clenched his teeth and said resentfully, are you so excited to move in with Asher that you can't wait for us to finalize the divorce? I wonder if you're still Anna Brown with Asher, or have you come up with another fake identity? Justin. Bella was infuriated. She clenched her fists. You are being naive if you think that you can retaliate against me like this. Do you think I care about the men you're with? Justin laughed angrily. I just don't want Grandpa to be disappointed in you. I don't want him to find out that the woman he adores is just a slut. If you want to whore yourself out, please watch yourself before Grandpa's 80th birthday. Don't let these rumors reach Grandpa's ears. Bella was so angry that she could not say a word and hung up directly. She pressed her back against the wall and took a deep breath. But she could not make the pain in her heart disappear. Why did it still hurt so much? She had promised herself that she would no longer care about Justin. Bella rubbed the corners of her eyes, which gradually turned red with disappointment. Justin, how could you think of me that way? It turns out that my 13-year crush on you was a big mistake. On the other side at Tideview Manor, Justin was stunned for several seconds when his ex-wife hung up on him. She was so decisive and cold. How was she the same woman who cried and begged him not to divorce her? In the past 3 years, did she not have any feelings for him? Did she just put up with his family for the past 3 years for some reason? Justin felt angrier the more he thought about it. Mr. Salvador, your coffee. Ian walked in and saw his boss' solemn expression, so he asked tentatively, have you contacted the young madam? Did you get her new phone number? Justin held his forehead in frustration. He was so angry earlier that he forgot the purpose of his call. He thought he would be happy after Anna left, but he was just angry and annoyed because she was with Asher. How dare she manipulate his emotions? Maybe next time. I don't want to deal with that woman now. Justin picked up the coffee and frowned after taking a sip. What happened? The taste isn't right, but I made it according to the recipe that the young madam gave me. Ian scratched his head in confusion. Recipe. The young madam gave me a small notebook before she left. She wrote down your food and drink preferences and restrictions. She even noted down everything you ate with a detailed date and time. As he said this, Lan took out the small notebook and handed it to Justin. Justin took it and hesitated to open it. What he saw were rows of neat handwriting that was just as disciplined as Anna was before the divorce. Add a pinch of salt to the coffee to enhance the flavor. Justin likes it that way. Justin drank 2 bowls of seafood chowder with fresh scallops this afternoon. I should make it for him more often in the future. Justin doesn't like sweet foods. Next time, I'll make cheese crackers or butter cake for tea time. Maybe he'll like them. I bought several ties for Justin last year, but he has never worn any of the ones with red elements. Justin probably hates red. Justin. Ads by Pub Future. Justin. Every sentence in the notebook was about him. Justin was shocked as he flipped through the pages slowly. He held his breath as if he were afraid that he might accidentally blow the words on the pages away. His eyes gradually darkened, and he held the book so hard that the paper wrinkled. She's studying me in detail. This just proves that she has ulterior motives. Although Justin had mixed feelings about what was recorded in the notebook, he was still angry at Bella. So he simply threw the notebook into the wastebasket. Mr. Salvador, don't throw it away. The young madam has worked hard to gather all this information about you over the past 3 years. If she doesn't care about you, why would she bother to remember your preferences? It shows how much she loves you. Ian hurriedly picked it up, feeling sorry for Bella. Stop calling her young madam. She doesn't deserve it. At this time, they heard noises coming from outside the study. It seemed to be coming from the right side of the corridor. That room used to belong to Anna. Go and check out what's going on. Justin rubbed his temples tiredly. Ian hurriedly walked out of the study and returned in a hurry with a complicated look. Mr. Salvador, M's gold caused the noise. What's wrong with Rose? She's throwing away everything in your ex-wife's bedroom. At this moment, Rosalind was throwing a fit in Anna's bedroom. This bitch, she's just a country girl. How can she be so arrogant just because the old man favors her? What's so great about that stupid bracelet anyway? How dare she look down on me? When Bella signed the divorce papers, she left the house empty-handed. This gave Rosalind the opportunity to throw Bella's skincare products and the bedside decorations on the floor like garbage. The room was trashed when Justin walked in. Rose, what are you doing? Justin frowned. I hate that there are traces of her in here. Rosalind cried again when she saw Justin. If it weren't for her, we wouldn't have missed out on 3 whole years together. She stole my place, but she's acting like I'm the bad guy. She makes me look like a homewrecker. Rose, you're not a homewrecker. Don't let your imagination run wild. Justin's eyes darkened. He leaned over to pick up the jade toad that had been smashed to the floor. He was startled to find that the toad sculpture had a wink and a peace sign. It made him smile. At this time, Rosalind opened the closet and threw out Anna's clothes. What's this? Rosalind casually opened a large box and saw a nicely tailored men's suit made of high quality. Ads by Pub Future. Fabrics. Is this a gift Anna prepared for Mr. Thompson? Has she already found herself another husband? So soon. Upon hearing this, Justin looked gloomy and walked over to take the box. Justin, this woman is despicable. I thought she married you because she loved you and would sincerely take care of you. It turned out that she was just playing you like a fool. Rosalind's eyes were red. She picked up the fruit knife on the coffee table and rushed forward to slash the suit. Justin had quick reflexes, so he shielded the box with his body. As a result, the knife slashed Justin's arm, and bright red blood soaked through his white shirt. OMG. I'm so sorry, Justin. The knife in Rosalind's hand fell to the floor. She was so scared that she covered her mouth, and her mind went blank. All she could do was cry. OMG. What's going on? Shannon came in with a few maids. She was frightened when she saw that Justin was injured. Blood was dripping on the white carpet, staining it red. Justin, how did you cut yourself? Ian, get a car to take Ems Gold home. Justin endured the pain and sighed helplessly. Justin, I don't want to go home. I want to be with you. Rosalind hurriedly hugged Justin. Right, you should let Rose stay here. It's so late. She can take care of you since you are injured. Shannon saw an opportunity to help her niece. It was in Shannon's interest that Justin and Rosalind got married, so she wished that Rosalind could stay over and sleep with Justin tonight. No, she should go home. Unexpectedly, Justin was firm on his decision. Rose will marry you sooner or later anyway. When we get married, we'll have all the time in the world to be together. Now, she should stay at home so that she can spend more time with her family. Secondly, Anna and I haven't finalized the divorce, so it's inappropriate for Rose to stay here. At the mention of this, Shannon had nothing else to say. After sending Rosalind off, Justin looked at the state of the room and sighed. He ordered the maids to tidy up the mess. Mr. Salvador, come and take a look. Ian stood in front of the closet with a look of surprise and took out an intricate costume. Justin walked over and looked at the costume closely. The dress was made of a soft pink, smooth fabric and embroidered with lifelike peonies. He could tell at a glance that it must be very expensive. Peonies symbolize true beauty. His long eyelashes trembled, and his thoughts wavered. Does the young madam perform on stage? If that's the case, she's amazing. Ian expressed his admiration. He always had a renewed impression of his boss' ex-wife. Ian also could not understand why his boss looked down on such a cool and beautiful woman. Haven't you heard of a saying? Performers are great liars. Justin pressed his thin lips into a straight line and felt inexplicably irritated.